everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Joy Goodrum.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman. We are so thrilled to welcome Joy Goodrum back to the show. I am so glad to see you.
I am so happy to be here in the beautiful new studios.
Well, we're
I
kind of
love
liking
it.
this, yes.
I'm loving it.
I'm so glad. So I know that you have been busy with 1,000 things. What's on the list right now?
Well, you know what? This was the perfect time for me to come in and help co-host because we're going to be talking about two things that are near and dear to my heart, being Irving Cares and the Irving Arts, as well as the Irving Museum. So I'm excited to be talking about the different things that we're going to be covering today.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're here, and we are so thrilled that you joined us too for news on so much, the Irving Archives and Museum's long-awaited grand opening.
We'll also have details for you on the Go Irving School Expo coming up November 11th. And in Feature Flicks, Susan Stevens reviews Eternals, the latest addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. Tell us about events going on around the community, interesting people we should profile, or stories you'd like to see on the show.
And you can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you.
It was a spooktacular time at the Texacan Court Hotel when the Bingo Bash Monster Mash came to town, courtesy of Irving Cares. Here's a look at all the fun.
Cue the music and mark your cards. Irving Cares hosts Bingo Bash Monster Mash, a new Halloween-themed fundraiser at the Texacan Court in Las Colinas.
Music bingo is basically a little twist on regular bingo, right? So we pass out bingo cards, and instead of pulling out balls and reading numbers, what I do is I play about 45 seconds of a song. If you have that song on your bingo card, guess what? You win. You can go across the board horizontally, you can go down the board vertically, or you can go across the board diagonally with a free space.
Vice Chair of the Irving Cares Board, Joy Goodrum, explains how they came up with the musical benefit.
Sitting with Kyle and Terry from Irving Cares, talking with them, I love dressing up, I love parties, I love finding ways to combine awesome music and costumes and fun people, put it all together, and we got Bingo Bash Monster Mash.
People sing along, sometimes people get up and dance. We just have a really good time with it all the way around.
Music bingo winners chose from a table of donated prize, including Irving Cares bracelets and E. Fratelli's gift cards. Another way to win big at the event is by participating in the wine pool.
You pay $25 for a ticket. You get to go over and go grab a bag. There's a wine bottle in the bag. They're valued from $25 to $100 a piece. Bring it home and you could walk away with a $100 bottle of wine.
While guests play and dance, they also enjoy a Texacan buffet.
Seeing that we're at the Texacan, they love Southwest, so we have a little Tex-Mex cuisine, we have the quesadillas, we have the chips, and of course you're gonna have the queso, which we all love.
Proceeds from the festive evening goes towards Irving Cares' mission to help local families in need.
We're gonna be doing emergency care for our local people in Irving that need help with like rental assistance or electricity. We also help with proactive things such as financial literacy classes. We are now offering certification programs for people to help them get ahead before they end up being in a situation where they might need Irving Cares for another reason. The other way that we help, third way we help, is through food.
The Bingo Bash Monster Mash put a little pep in everyone's step as they dressed up and came together for a good cause.
I think events now are kind of twofold. One, you're able to raise money whenever we've really been needing some help. All the nonprofits in Irving, Texas, they've all been needing help. So raising money that way, but also finding a way to bring together friends. So many of us have missed getting to see each other and to spend good quality time, having some laughs, having fun. What better way to do it than coming out and supporting Irving Cares?
For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
Get ready for Irving Cares' next event, the New Year's Eve Gala. Visit irvingcares.org for tickets, and About Town will bring you more details as we get closer.
Mainstage Irving Las Colinas kicks off their 21-22 season with the hit comedy Nonsense. Here's Susan Stevens with a preview of the show.
Some folks think of convents as the places where we pray.
Mainstage Irving Las Colinas presents Nonsense, a comedy that shows off the musical stylings of the most unusual group of nuns.
I'd like to share with you the humor of the nuns.
Sister Julia, Child of God, has fed the nuns some bad soup, and most of them had perished. And the Reverend Mother buried most of them, but decided to go on a spending spree a little too soon before she buried all of them, and so some of them are in the freezer. And so we do this little talent show to raise money to bury the last sisters. And we're kind of, Reverend Mother says, these are the nuns that are the best of what's left, that have the most talent. She says, so you get to see, it's kind of like a nun talent show to raise money, but there's certain things that go on throughout the show that kind of derails the whole thing.
The man who wrote it, Dan Goggin, he wrote it about the nuns that taught him throughout his parochial school education. And having gone through Catholic school myself, I recognize some of these women. And he's just taken their little personalities and their quirks and put them all together in a really ridiculous situation with a big problem to solve. And the way they solve it is so far out of their wheelhouse, it just gets funnier and funnier.
Main Stage Irving Las Cleanas presents Nunsense, a comedy that shows off the musical stylings of the most unusual group of nuns.
I play Sister Mary Leo, and she is very enthusiastic about everything. She enjoys being a sister, but she's having a very difficult time embracing humility and struggling with pride a little bit.
Sister Mary Amnesia, she doesn't know who she is, so the story is a crucifix has fallen on her head, and she doesn't remember who she is. So we go through the whole musical pretty much like that. She has this, what did it say in the script? She has this childlike exuberance because everything's kind of new to her at all times. So she's awesome to play because we joke that if I forget a line, it's okay, because she has no clue what's going on.
All 5 women must work together to raise funds and bury the last few fallen sisters that lay in the kitchen freezer before the health department discovers their secret. Will their prayers be answered? You'll have to watch Nunsense and find out.
That I deserve a leading role.
It's just a good time. You're gonna forget your cares for an hour and smile and sing along with us. I'm very fortunate. I get to perform with very, very talented women. And every night we come to rehearsal, it's just a party.
You all come through 2 really hard years, and I need some comedy, and I need it now.
There's nothing depressing. It's just from beginning to end fun, and you'll be rolling. It's hilarious.
For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
Don't miss Nunsense, running weekends November 5th through the 20th in the Dupree Theater. For tickets, call 972-252-ARTS. The long-awaited Irving Archives and Museum was all set to open in early 2020, but then the pandemic meant the wait would be a little longer.
Well, folks, that wait is finally over, and the public is invited to attend a weekend of great activities celebrating the museum's grand opening. Jen Landry, yay, is here with the details. Great to see you as always.
Great to be here and great to see you both.
Well, you've got a weekend of events, so let's start with the Friday night event, which I have to say, as much as I love ice cream, this party is up there on my list. Tell us about it.
So I think we all deserve a good party right about now.
Oh, yes.
And it is time. And so on Friday, November 12th, we will kick off our grand opening weekend with Rum Runners and Rug Cutters. And that will be both to celebrate the opening of the museum, but also the opening of our latest special exhibition, Spirited Prohibition in America. And what better theme than a Prohibition party theme for a kickoff? And so we're going to have live dancing, live music, great food, beverages, of course. It'll be last call. And we're encouraging costumes or period attire, and just a great gathering to get together and celebrate the museum and celebrate getting to be together again.
Absolutely. Sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, but wait a minute. It's not just Friday night. There's still more.
There's more.
Let us know about Saturday, Jen.
So Saturday is our official grand opening, and that will be a free family-friendly day. We'll have a ribbon cutting at 10:30 with our prestigious mayor honoring, being the honor of the ceremony ceremonies. And then we will have ice cream, of course, because one of the interesting things that develops from Prohibition is ice cream parlors, soda fountains really take off because you need someplace to take a date. And so we're like, okay, we'll do, Prohibition Friday night, Saturday we'll do ice cream social. And so that will be the official grand opening of the museum and the Spirited exhibition. And we're going to have some craft activities. If the weather permits, we'll have an antique car out for people to get their pictures taken with, and just a real good gathering.
Oh, it sounds like so much fun, too. And one of the things that I love about being around you, Jen, is you have all these little nuggets. I had no idea that the ice cream social evolved out of Prohibition. So thank you for that little tidbit. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I am intrigued. You're opening 2 exhibits in association with this whole weekend, and one of them you mentioned, the Spirited. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So Spirited Prohibition in America is an NEH on the road show, so National Endowment for the Humanities, and so it looks at the era of Prohibition, but not just the dancing, the 1920s speakeasy rise of syndicated crime that we all kind of associate, the Hollywood picture of it. It also looks at the fact that we passed an amendment in this country that outlawed alcohol. And how did that happen? Because that's a pretty crazy idea when you really think about it. Alcohol's been around for millennia, and yet, America decided that, there needed to be an outlaw, a law basically prohibiting it from being sold.
Wow.
And so the exhibit looks at that, the people that were involved in the making, and then just how that amendment happened. So it's also a civics lesson. And then the fact that we passed another amendment to revoke the amendment, which had never been done before.
Yeah,
and
unprecedented.
Yes. So it's a really great exhibition, and so I'm really looking forward to us being able to bring it here to Irving.
Now there's a second one that's also taking place, and it sounds a little terrifying. So could you let us know about that one?
So the theme is a little dark, but it's an important topic, and it's actually a really great photography show. And so it's called 2 Minutes to Midnight, The Architecture of Armageddon. Whew. Yeah, but it looks at the Cold War era, and the fact, 2 minutes to midnight is a reference to the idea of, how close were we to basically complete destruction. And with, missiles pointing between the Soviet Union and the United States during that era, we were pretty close to midnight. And so this photography show looks at missile silos, as well as fallout shelters and bunkers, and sort of just these symbols and kind of the spaces that still exist but are now abandoned from the Cold War era. And it's just, for some of us that lived through it, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Exactly.
And then for the, you have to remember that there are now multiple generations that don't have a memory of the Cold War. And so it's a really good reflection. And what's been interesting is that when people see the show, they see some similarities in some of the equipment and materials to what we've been through over the last 18 months.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Well, I know we need to let you go, but I just want to ask real quickly. I want to acknowledge the volunteers that helped to make all of this possible. And so if people are interested in getting involved, how can they do that?
So we are always looking for volunteers. We've just started school tours back up, so we definitely are in need of help when we have, 125 fifth graders appear at our doorstep. We love them, but we need some extra hands. And then, of course, our events and our programs that are starting to really take off. So you can go to our website, irvingarchivesandmuseum.com, and learn more about our volunteer opportunities. And we welcome all age groups.
Excellent. That is great. So, folks, so much going on. The gala, the big party, is on Friday, November 12th. The ice cream social with a twist is on Saturday the 13th. Everything is happening at the museum, so you'll have an opportunity to take advantage of these fabulous exhibits that are going on. Visit irvingarchivesandmuseum.com for more details. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
In this week's Feature Flicks, Susan reviews Eternals, and she has a preview of the newest addition to the Ghostbusters franchise. Susan?
Thanks, Kathy. The next generation of Marvel superheroes make their debut in the newest MCU film, Eternals. The movie has been getting some mixed reviews, but I have to say, I'm not sure why it's receiving such harsh feedback, because I loved it. Eternals' present day is set 5 years after the events of Endgame. However, the film takes place in multiple periods as it gives background on the new heroes and how they came to be. The Eternals are immortal heroes responsible for protecting humans from monster-like creatures called Deviants. Thousands of years after their mission, Deviants have returned to Earth. They must now come together once again to save the world.
How long do we have?
7 days. We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the Deviants.
Unlike the Guardians of the Galaxy's immediate positive reaction to funny superhero misfits, Eternals might need a second film to capture the hearts of audiences. With the exception of Kumail Nanjiani's hilarious character, this is a more serious group. Each character has a unique origin that's revealed in a dark and deeper manner than we're used to seeing in a Marvel film. But that's what makes Eternals feel fresh. Not every Marvel movie needs to have the same lighthearted tone.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos?
Oscar winner Chloe Zhao incorporates her independent film style with a more meditative portrayal of superheroes, tackling the ideology of good and evil and what is truly the best for humanity. The all-star cast, which includes Nanjiani, Angelina Jolie, Selma Hayek, Gemma Chan, and Richard Madden, play heroes with a different belief and powers. There is a lot to think about in Eternals, but there's just as much to see. Along with her thought-provoking characters, Zhao provides a visually stunning theatrical experience.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
But perhaps one of the best things about Eternals is how it feels like a superhero movie for everyone. If you have yet to feel seen through a hero, then you might connect with one of these diverse characters who represent the LGBTQ, the deaf community, and different people of color. As much as I did enjoy the film, it does have its flaws. Biggest one being the runtime. It's a little over 2.5 hours, and I won't blame audiences who may get antsy as the movie drags in certain scenes. But there's enough action and entertainment to keep your interest throughout the entire film. Eternals is a must-see.
You can't protect any of them.
And now a film that a lot of us are already familiar with. When there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you gonna call? That's right. Fans have been anxiously waiting for the new Ghostbusters film starring Paul Rudd, McKenna Grace, and Finn Wolfhard. The film will open in theaters November 19th. I leave you now with a preview of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of what?
A ghost trap? There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s, it's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom. My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Call it fate. Call it luck. Call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason. Come on, darling.
It has a gunner seat?
Thanks, Susan. Eternals opens November 5th at AMC Irving Mall and Alamo Drafthouse Cinema Las Colinas. And look for Ghostbusters Afterlife on November 19th. For more of Susan's reviews and celebrity interviews, check her out online at thischicksflix.com.
Irving's premier school shopping event is coming up fast.
Dr. Nicole Mansell, Chief of Marketing and Communications with Irving ISD, joins us with all the details. Thank you so much for being here today, Dr. Mansell.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathy. I appreciate the opportunity.
I'm excited to know more about the Go Irving School Expo, but before we even dive into that, let me ask you about the opportunities that are available now for kids that are thinking about moving on to college. You've got some great opportunities.
We sure do. So we have 3 application-based schools, Kathy. So we have Singley Academy, which is our career academies. We also have Singley Collegiate Academy and South Irving Collegiate Academy, which is slated to open in the fall of 2022. And those collegiate academies give students the opportunity to earn up to 2 years of college credit or an associate degree, tuition-free, while they're still in high school. And so those 3 schools will be at the Go Irving School Choice Expo.
And one of the most exciting things about that is that if a student's interested or if a parent wants to encourage their student to do it, they can sign up that night.
Absolutely. So we've tried to make this as customer service oriented as possible. So if I'm a parent or a student and I'm interested in applying, I can take those 3 steps, and we've got, the computers set up there and they can apply on site right there that evening.
I wish my college had been this easy.
I'm telling you, that's amazing. What a great opportunity for our kids.
Yes, absolutely. And a cost savings.
Yeah, which is also a huge plus because tuition is going up and up and up and up.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't tell you the advantages that it gives our students to have something like this in Irving ISD, in the city of Irving, where I can obtain my college degree right while I'm still in high school. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Yeah, it truly is.
So that's fantastic. Now, looking at the expo that's coming up.
Yes.
So last year, you had to do it all virtual due to the pandemic.
Yes.
So this year, we're going to get to do it in person.
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit of background of what's going to be happening this year?
So all 38 of the district's campuses will be on site. I like to call it a one-stop shop shopping event, right, there at the convention center. So all 38 campuses will be on location there at the convention center. Might I add, it is admission is free, parking is free. So parents can peruse, the 38 campuses. We'll have different demonstrations going on, from the career academies. Our culinary arts students are going to be doing live cooking demonstrations. We'll have information about our free pre-K program, which is huge. Of course, I mentioned the application-based schools. So it is really, it's really designed to be everything under one roof for our parents.
That's great. I love the idea of having the culinary arts kids, kind of showing off what they know.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for the kids to really say, here's what we've done so far. Check us out.
Absolutely. And might I add, they will be giving out free samples.
Kids like that, so do parents.
So yes. So free samples. Another thing I forgot to mention too is that you'll also be able to learn, our parents will also be able to learn about our 2-way dual language schools. So we'll have the dual language lounge, which will be there on site as well.
That's so exciting.
Great. So is there any details regarding like masks or parking or anything specific that you need to be sure to let us know?
Yes, so we are encouraging masks. Masks are highly encouraged. Everything is we've got everything separated out to work on that, keeping that social distancing in place. But we do encourage those to come out to wear a mask.
Excellent. Dr. Mansell, thank you so much for being here. Folks, the Go Irving School Expo is Thursday, November 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the beautiful Irving Convention Center. If you need more details, please go to irvingisd.net/GoIrving. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies.
In late 2019, Mainstage Irving Las Colinas expanded into the new space in the Heritage District, and then the pandemic happened. But they used the time to renovate the space and book some great new events in the former Texas Musicians Museum. Here's Kathy with a behind-the-scenes tour of Mainstage 222.
When Mainstage Irving Las Colinas took over the space at 222 East Irving Boulevard, they expanded more than just their physical footprint.
lecture all the way up to a rock concert or a full play.
The expanded programming was designed to provide a variety of entertainment and arts opportunities.
With the goal of getting people to come downtown and to be in the historic parts of Irving.
In preparation, Mainstage volunteers adapted the space for multiple purposes.
So our additions here include this green room with this brand new wall off to your left here, which became the new lobby wall.
Okay.
That we have, and we've got obviously our signature logo that's on the other side of this wall. We're kind of excited about.
That's great looking.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have 2 new dressing rooms that we've added in, one here and then one down this way.
Okay.
And so this is one idea of the dressing rooms here, not an idea, but this is kind of how they're set up. Temporarily, we have a table in here, but we've got countertops that are going in, and then we'll be putting LED lighting around the mirrors and some other mirrors around the side so that other actors and stuff can be using those for getting ready and whatnot.
And Tom says there are more changes in the works.
We've even got, more things that are coming up in our rehearsal space here. We're getting ready to make it a true black box. Painting the walls black, hanging the grid of curtains all the way around, and then the grid for the sound and lights up above is our phase 3.
Already in place, visual art in all the public spaces.
It becomes a conversation space. They've had events out here, the blues festivals and different things, and people will come in and gather and talk, and they'll talk, talk in front of this piece, and then they'll walk a little further and talk in front of another piece. And so we've created little conversation spaces, which is really great.
The outdoor stage has already hosted everything from dance performances to blues concerts to a Shakespearean comedy.
His horses are bred better. Besides this nothing he so plentifully gives me, this is it, Adam, that grieves me in the spirit of my father, which I think is within me.
And the Mainstage volunteers are excited about what's next.
I feel that there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of fun things that are going to be coming our way, and so we want to be on the cusp of it. We're excited.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
To keep up with everything that's going on at Mainstage 222, visit them online at mainstageirving.org/mainstage-222.
And here are a few more excellent ways to spend your time happening about town. If you've got electronics to recycle or household documents to shred, Solid Waste Services will be accepting those items on Friday, November 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Las Colinas Service Center, 5964 Riverside Drive. For more information, visit cityofirving.org/solid-waste-services.
The Irving Symphony Orchestra presents Orchestral Fireworks on Saturday, November 13th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Hall.
Howard Hilliard joins the Las Colinas Symphony Orchestra in Carpenter Hall on Saturday, November 20th at 7:30 p.m.
And Momentum Dance Company presents The Nutcracker on Thanksgiving weekend with performances Saturday, November 27th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, November 28th at 2 p.m. For tickets to all events at the Irving Arts Center, call 972-252-ARTS. And that about wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time when we'll tell you about the Irving connection to Jurassic World, the exhibition.
We'll also bring you highlights from the Irving Archives and Museum's grand opening gala. And we feature Chef Eduardo of the Irving Convention Center in the next edition of What's Cooking Irving.
We'll leave you tonight with another look at music from Soundbites. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Joy Goodrum. Have a great evening, and we'll see you about town.